afternoon, everyone. It's great to see a nice turnout for today's You and I Together. I'm Ariel Agenbrod, Area Extension Educator in Ada County, and I will be doing the assisting duties today for our main presenter, Tyann. So we're going to go ahead and get started. It's 4 o'clock. Thanks for joining in. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our topic and our presenter today, and we're going to have one of those really quick You and I promotional videos about one of our program areas. So this is week 7. If you're coming along and you're a regular attendee, way to go. You made it 7 weeks with us. We love it. Today's presentation is It Came From Where? And when Tyann introduces herself, she'll talk more about what she means by that. But I think this slide might give you a little bit of a hint, right?
Yep, it's a pretty good indicator of what we're talking about.
Okay, good. I picked correctly. All right. So Tyann, if you want to go ahead and introduce Extension, and then when you're done with this slide, I'll load the video, okay?
Hi, my name is Tyann Rowland. I am an Extension educator in Adams County, which is a couple hours north of Caldwell and Nampa if you're going on Highway 95. And I have been in U of I Extension for about 9 years now. And one of my favorite things about Extension is that it is so broadly topicked, or has so many topics that you can really, it's almost a one-stop shop. And so there's everything from food production systems to 4-H to water to forestry to dietitian help and things like that. So please always check our U of I Extension website to see what's going on. Check our calendar and join your favorite Extension County Extension Facebook or social media page to see what's going on close nearby you. So
Idaho youth are learning about science, technology, engineering, and math through fun, hands-on activities offered by the University of Idaho Extension 4-H Youth Development. From straw rockets to robotics and aerodynamics to drones, 4-H is preparing Idaho's next generation to solve tomorrow's problems.
All right, so what I specifically work on, I know that the last slide showed different topics. What I specifically work on is livestock, natural resources, and 4-H youth development. What we're talking about today is animal byproducts. And there's a very big difference between the animal product and the animal byproduct, right? So a product of an animal would be the meat. And if we're talking about dairy, it would be the milk. If we're talking about lambs, it would be the meat and wool. If we're talking about beef cows, it would just be the meat. If we're talking about chickens, it would be the eggs and meat. Those would be the products. But what we're talking about is the byproducts, the other things that you will find in animals, parts of animals used for. So I do have some handouts, but if I give you the handouts early, it won't be as much fun for the surprise. So I am gonna hold up a whole bunch of objects. I do this presentation with both youth and adults and in classrooms all the time. And everyone is completely surprised by the things that I'm gonna hold up here to show you that has animal byproducts in it. So parts of the animal came from this, okay? Now it may have gone through a really large process before it became part of the product I'm gonna hold up. And some of it, not very long, big, long process at all. So one of my favorite ones here is, we'll start with something simple. We're talking mostly about cows, lambs, which are sheep, and pigs, okay? So those are the 3 animals, okay? So I'm gonna hold up sausage casings. Now these are natural sausage casing, okay? So if anyone in the chat wants to put up where the natural sausage casing came from and what it actually is, what part of the animal is it from? Okay, I saw pig and I saw pig intestine, and you are right. It is this is the intestine of a pig or a cow. So this is the actual intestine that's been washed and cleaned. And this would be what holds your sausage meat together to cook it. Okay, so that's a fairly simple one. I have some other ones that are a little bit funner and a little crazier, that has different animals in it besides those three that I'll hold up that are kind of fun. But here's another one. Here is spaghetti noodles. Okay. Spaghetti noodles and different carbohydrate products, I guess, like this, different noodles in this will have a byproduct in it that comes from cows. Okay. And this one also has traces of egg in it as well. But you will usually see that the extra vitamins that have been put in the spaghetti noodles, like on the back here, it's from semolina, which is a type of wheat. Okay, we expected wheat to be in there. Ferrous sulfate is iron. Thiamine mononitrate is one of those that could possibly be an animal byproduct. Riboflavin and folic acid. Again, those vitamins come as animal byproducts. Okay. Here we go. Here is a tire. Okay. If it wasn't for cows, we would not have rubber for anything. There is a byproduct that we get from cows that is added to rubber, and that's what makes rubber so one of the things that makes rubber so durable. So if we would not have any type of rubber if it wasn't for cow byproducts. And when I say that we use the entire cow, almost. If let's say we have a 1,000 pound cow, okay, 600 pounds of that is going to be the meat. Okay, that leaves 400 other pounds of cow parts that aren't meat. Okay, that would be blood, that would be bone, that would be organs. Okay, those are the byproducts we're talking about. We use 998 pounds of a 1,000 pound cow. We use it all. When we talk about reduce, reuse, and recycle, farming and ranching and the production of all these different products that we use daily is the ultimate reduce, reuse, recycle cycle. So here's some other things I'm going to hold up for you. Here we go. Here's a medication bottle. Okay, let's see if I can get it to kind of show up. Okay, we get very important medications from animals. Some of the extremely important medications we get is insulin. Okay, so if you are diabetic, if you know someone that has diabetes and needs insulin, that comes from animals. There are some synthetic ones, but not everyone can use the synthetics. And many people can use the ones that come from animals. Also, medication that clots your blood to stop bleeding. That also comes from animals. And we also get we get parts of pigs, like heart valves and things like that, pieces of pigs are now part of our medical system. And if you or your family member may ever need an emergency surgery or something changed or something went wrong with a part of their body, there's a chance that an animal byproduct is being used to help them. Great, I'm going to keep going. I have 5 boxes full of stuff behind me that when I'm in the classroom or teaching this in person, that I hold up all of these boxes. If you can see that one, this one says skin and hair on it. Okay, this is everything that is made out of skin and hair from an animal. This is for whatever reason, my camera's not focusing, but this is
the background.
House insulation. Okay, now what keeps an animal in the chat? Please put what keeps an animal warm when it's cold outside. Fat and fur. Yep, you are absolutely right. Well, things like insulation, that's the same thing that keeps our homes warm in the winter, right? And keeps the heat inside. So you will find this product in hair and fur and things like insulation. You'll also find it in, making some noise here. Here's an air filter for a vehicle. Okay. Again, using byproduct of an animal. This is an air filter. Okay. Some of the obvious things that are made from animals, leather actually is a byproduct of cows and of most other animals that we eat actually. We even use alligator leather for boots and things like that. And there's actually alligator farms in Idaho that you can get alligator meat from, and then they have alligator leather. And so that's a byproduct. So good old glove, your good old baseball glove. Okay.
And Tyann, we had a question. Somebody wanted to know what are some of the uses for animal blood from cattle?
Good one. Let me pull up my blood one. I have it here somewhere. Internal organs, blood and brains, right here. If you can see that. Okay, here we go. For blood, that's where we're gonna get a lot of our different like vitamins and mineral type byproducts. Okay. In here with internal organs is also fishing line. Okay. So fishing line can be synthetic or it could be a natural product. Let's see, there is also, I'll have to give me a minute to remember, but there is a certain byproduct name that it comes from blood. But another thing you will find is in cake mix, there is a protein from the blood of animals that is found in cake mix. So unless something truly says vegan on it, expect it to have an animal byproduct in it somewhere, okay? Unless it just truly says all over it, vegan, not necessarily vegetarian, but vegan, you will expect to find an animal byproduct in it somewhere. Another one that surprises a lot of people is in my, see if that'll show up, bones, hooves, and horns. Okay. This is one of my favorite ones. See if we can see those. Okay, if you can see them, what are they? Kind of hard to tell, but they're dog treats. These are rawhide beef hide, but same thing. You go into the pet store and you see pig ears in there. Those are actual pig ears that have been dried. They're real, okay? So those come from there. Another thing that people don't expect animal byproducts to be in, okay? Here we go. We got hot chocolate. Okay, the little white things floating around in your hot chocolate, what are those? Okay, your marshmallows, exactly. Marshmallows are made with sugar and gelatin, and both sugar and gelatin use animal byproducts. Gelatin is a direct animal byproduct. Jello is an animal byproduct. Anything that use gelatin, like here we go. Here's our Peeps marshmallow candies. Okay, those are basically all gelatin and sugar. So this is basically all an animal byproduct in it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here is a hoof, a dog for a dog to chew on. Okay, there we go. Right there from the pet store. This is a real hoof that I'm holding up, okay? For your dog to chew on. The other thing that they're not expecting out of blood of bones, hooves, and horns is sugar. Sugar itself, white refined sugar, in order to become white sugar has to go through a filtering process, okay? Raw sugar has a brownish color to it. Brown sugar has an even darker color because it has molasses in it. And it goes through a filtering process to become white sugar. And that filtering process is bone charcoal. So those bones are burnt up and a charcoal is made from them. And charcoal is the best filtering thing that we have out there. And that is what the sugar goes through that charcoal to become the regular white sugar that we use in most foods. So yeah, that is always a big surprise to people. But yes, bone charcoal is very common. Some of the other things that I wanted to give you an idea of is I've got the baseball. We've got the leather from the baseball. But what's inside of a baseball? Can anyone tell me what's in rubber? Nope, not rubber. String, close. There is a fiber in it. What kind of fiber? Sinew? Nope, it's not sinew. Yeah, leather is on the outside, but only on the outside. If we were to cut this baseball in half, cement, no, nope, it's not gut. It is lamb's wool. Lamb's wool is in here. And so actually look up how many yards of lamb's wool is in a baseball, and you will be surprised how much lamb's wool is stuffed into this baseball right here. It is amazing. So that is your homework for today, is to look up how much lamb's wool is in a baseball. I wanted to show you just a few others. Here's Caesar salad dressing. Okay, the main ingredient in Caesar salad dressing is anchovies. What are anchovies? Fish. Yep. So that is one of the main ingredients in Caesar salad dressing. Also, in the red dye color of food coloring, red food coloring dye, that actually comes from a bug that is ground up, and that creates a red food coloring. And that always throws everyone for a huge loop, that red food coloring and red food dye, like what's in your makeup, in your lipstick and things like that, is actually a crushed up bug. It's been that way since ancient Egypt. They've been using that red, that bug to create that red dye. So
we did have one question. Doesn't toothpaste have an animal byproduct?
You know what? Off the top of my head, I'm not sure, but I think it does. And the reason I think that is because a lot of the times there is extra minerals added to toothpaste. And a lot of times minerals come from animal byproducts, but it's not fluoride. But if there's any sort of gelatin or stabilizing ingredient in your toothpaste, then yes. Glycerin, Elena's saying on there, yes, glycerin is absolutely part of an animal product too, that you'll find in most everything.
Great. And some of our participants are actively trying to figure out how much lamb's wool, and it looks like 300 yards in one baseball.
That's insane. 300 yards of lamb's wool is in that.
All right. And so last here, if you have not already taken advantage of this, you're not already involved in 4-H, here's your chance to learn how to become a 4-H member and also how to become a 4-H volunteer. Oh, and Kim says, now we're going to be looking up every item to see what byproducts are used in everything around the house.
You absolutely will be. And that's why you will like these handouts. But like I said, I didn't want to give them out ahead of time or it ruins all the fun.
Well, thank you so much, Tyann. That was fun. I think we all learned something new that we can share with other people to impress them with our knowledge. Really appreciate it and hope that we can see you all next week for beef jerky.